Hi, today we're going to do a lesson on the basics of sentence diagram. We're first going to sentence diagram subject and verb. A subject is the person, place, thing, or idea that is doing or being something. The noun. Verb shows the actions or state of a being. Well, you're always gonna put the subject right here in our first line right here. And then our verb will always put it beside the subject right here. And there will always be a long line vertically passing through the horizontal line through it. We're going to do some examples of subject and verb. 1. Valeria ran. First of all, we're going to look for the verb. What's the action? Ran. So we're going to write ran right here, like it's right here. Then who is running or who ran? Well, it's Valeria, so it's the subject. Now we're going to do the second one. Christina jumped. What is the verb or the action? Jumped. So we're going to write jumped here, like we already did. And the right side, remember, right. Verb, left, subject. Who jumped? Well, it's Christina. So we're going to write Christina on the left because it's the subject. In the left. Paola walked. What's the verb? Walked. So walked, we're always gonna put it in the right. We have walked right here. And then who walked? Who did the action? Who walked? Well, it's Paola. So we're gonna write Paola right here because left subject, right verb. Now we're going to do compound sentence. We're going to sentence diagram compound sentence. Definitions. Compound. A sentence that has two subjects or and verb that are joined by a conjunction. So, as you see here, first we're going to look here. We're going to look at compound verbs in a sentence, and we're going to diagram it. So always at the left, like the line, we're going to put our subject, and we're going to have a vertical line going through all the horizontal line. And then there's a trick. I call it like a pencil. That's my trick. I remember of a pencil. So when it's a verb, the pencil is looking at the inside, like looking at the left. And when it's a compound subject, the pencil is looking at the right, so you do the lines like here. So you just write the first verb right here, the second verb, the conjunction in the triangle here, and the verb just below the other verb, and that's it. And now we're gonna do right here, we're gonna do compound subjects. We do the same, but as I said, the point of the pencil will look to the right. So we put the first subject here, then in the triangle, the conjunction, and down of the first subject, we're going to put the second subject. And then a line, vertical line passing through everywhere, and the verb. And now we're going to do right here, we're going to do compound sentence with compound subject and compound verbs. So we're going to do the compound subject as we said. Pencil looking to the right because it's subject. We're going to subject here, conjunction in the triangle, subject here. And then it's the same, but we're going to pass the vertical line, always the vertical line, remember, passing through everywhere. We're going to put our first verb here, our conjunction in the triangle here, and the second verb here. Now we're going to do some examples of compound sentences. So, Christina and Valeria studied. So, first of all, what's our verb? We're going to look for our verb. Well, our verb is studied. So, we're going to write studied in the verb. As you see right here, in the right side, remember. And now we're going to look who studied. Well, it's Christina and Valeria. And look, here we have a conjunction, so it means we have a compound subject. So we're going to write Christina because it's first here, then and our compound here, and then Valeria because it's the second subject right here. Now we're going to do the second example. Christina eats and sleeps. Well, first we're going to look at our verb. So, Christina eats and sleeps. Eat is a verb, and sleeps is also a verb. And we have connecting these two verbs, the conjunction. So it means we're having a compound verb. So we're going to write first our verb. Here eats because it's the first verb. Then conjunction, the pencil looking at the left, the triangle, the conjunction. The sleeps is the second verb, so it's going below the first verb. And then we're going to look at here. Who eats and sleeps? Well, it's Christina. So we're going to write Christina right here. And like here showed. And the vertical line, remember, always the vertical line. And then the third. Paola and Lucia shop and talk. So what is the verb? What's the action? So we're going to highlight it. Shop is a verb and talk is another verb. And what's joining it? It's a conjunction that's joining it. So it means we have a compound verb. Remember, pencil looking to the left is if it's compound verbs. We're going to write the first verb, which is shop. Then the triangle looking to the left, the conjunction and talk is our second verb. So it's going to go below the shop, which is the first verb. Then we're going to pass the vertical line right here. And we're going to do, who is shopping and talking? Who is doing that? Well, it is Paola and Lucia. And here we have our conjunction. So, a conjunction right here. So we're going to write here Paola is our first subject because we have a compound subject. In the triangle, our conjunction right here. And Lucia is our next subject. So we're going to write it right here, and that's it. Now we're going to do some sentence diagramming with subject. Sorry, this should not be here, so just ignore it. Subject, adjective, we're going to sentence diagram subject, adjective, article, verb, and adverb. So definitions. Article, word that modifies a noun by referring and pointing out to a noun. Adjective, word that describes the noun. And an adverb is like an adjective, but it's instead of describing the noun, it's describing a verb. So we're gonna see how it's diagrammed. So there can be either or both an article or adjective beneath the subject, or a verb or a noun. So adjectives and articles can go either sides, verb or subject, but an adverb will always go in the verb. So let's look at it. Here we have the subject right here, and here the verb, the horizontal line. And here we have the article, and we can have an adjective to describing words. Just below, always, the describing the things will go always down. Like article describes a verb, so we are going to put it down, or an adjective below the verb, and it's going down. Now we're going to look how an adverb works. We do our subject like normal, the noun, our verb like normal, and an adverb is describing a verb, so it will go below the verb. That's our trick. Now we're going to have some examples right here. So the little girl walked slowly. So we're going to first look at our verb. What's our verb? Walked. So we're going to write right here as it says walked. Now, the little girl walked slowly. Who walked? Well, it's the girl. But, oh, I forgot something. There's another word besides walk. It's walk slowly. So, the little girl didn't walk like normal. She walked slowly. So slowly is describing walked. So it will go below walked. It's an adverb and it's describing walked. Now, who is walking? Who walks slowly? The little girl. So we're gonna write girl here, and the is an article. It's describing the girl, and then little. It's like not a big girl. It's not a normal girl. It's a little girl, and it's describing the girl. So we're also gonna write it below girl. 2. The red car moved rapidly. So first of all, we're gonna search for our verb. The red car moved rapidly. So moved is our verb. we're going to write it here. And the car didn't move slowly like normal. It moved rapidly. So rapidly is describing the verb, and we already know it's an adverb because it's modifying the verb. So it's going to go always below the verb. And then who moved rapidly? The red car. So car is our subject, and the red is describing the car. So we're going to write the right here and red right here because it's describing the car. We cannot write red the because the goes before red, so we are going to write it in order, the first and then red. Third, the huge pony jumped happily. First, we're always going to look for our verb. What is the action? Jumped. So jumped is our verb. We're going to put it right here. And then, how did the verb jumped? He jumped, or the thing jumped happily. So it's not jumped like sadly or normally or quickly. It's happily. So happily is describing jumped, and it's an adverb. So we're going to write it below jumped because happily is describing jumped. And then what jumped? What jumped was a pony. And that's not a normal pony. It's the huge pony. So we're going to write pony like normal right here. And then the first, then huge because it's describing the pony. And then huge because it goes in the sentence, it goes after the, and it's also describing the pony. So both of these words go below pony. And that's it. And we know how to do it. Thank you. And hope you liked the video and understood it. Thanks.